Alicia's mother begins her heartfelt plea, her voice trembling with emotion. "Dear Mr. President, my daughter, Alicia, is trapped in a system that refuses to see her for who she is. She's more than just a prisoner. She's my child, a human being, and she needs your help." Her words hang in the air, raw and desperate. Alicia's voice picks up, echoing the pain her mother feels. "I'm not asking for freedom. I've made mistakes, and I take full responsibility. But no one deserves to live in fear, simply because of who they are." The screen fades to a glimpse of Alicia in her cell. She sits on a narrow metal bench, clutching a letter, her hands trembling. Outside, the echo of distant footsteps and heavy metal doors slamming adds to the suffocating atmosphere. The story flashes back to Alicia's childhood. Her mother narrates over images of a younger Alicia, smiling as she builds a solar system model for a science project. She was a dreamer, a child who believed she could reach the stars. She told me she wanted to teach one day, to help others see the beauty of the universe the way she did. As Alicia grew, her mother explains, the challenges began. She was always brave, but the world isn't kind to those who are different. Alicia narrates her struggles as a teenager, her voice heavy with the weight of memory. "I came out as trans when I was 15. I thought I'd feel free, but instead, I felt more trapped. People stopped seeing me as Alicia. They only saw something they didn't understand." Her mother continues, recounting how teachers and peers turned against her. She was called names. She was excluded. But she never stopped fighting. She never let the world dim her light. The scene shifts to Alicia in her early 20s, facing a moment of desperation. "I made a mistake," she admits, her voice cracking. "I stole food to survive. I know it was wrong, but I was hungry, scared, and alone. I thought I'd be punished and move on, but instead..." Her voice falters, and her mother picks up. "They sent her to a men's prison. They saw her as nothing more than a label, and they threw her into a place where she was a constant target." Alicia describes the horrors of life in the prison. "I've been attacked, humiliated, and dehumanized. Every day is survival. Every night, I wonder if I'll make it to the next morning." Her mother adds, tears streaming down her face. "I wrote letters. I called. I begged. But no one would listen. To them, she was just another inmate." One day, Alicia's mother posts a video online, pouring her heart out. "This is my daughter. She's not a criminal. She's a victim of a broken system." The video goes viral. Millions of people watch, comment, and share. Messages flood in. "No one deserves this," and "What if this were my child?" The story catches the attention of a White House aide during a morning briefing. "Mr. President," the aide says, sliding a tablet across the table, "you need to see this." Trump glances at the screen, raising an eyebrow. "Another sob story?" he asks, his tone dismissive. "Sir, this one's different," the aide replies. "It's gaining traction. People are angry, and it's linked to the recent policy change." Trump sighs, leaning back in his chair. "Set up a meeting with the mother. Let's see what this is about." In the Oval Office, Alicia's mother sits across from Trump. Her hands tremble, but her voice is steady. "Mr. President, I'm not here to debate policies. I'm here because my daughter is dying inside that prison. She doesn't need sympathy. She needs safety." Trump listens, his expression unreadable. "What would you have me do?" he asks. "Let her serve her time where she belongs, in a women's facility. Let her rebuild her life without fearing for it every single day," she pleads. Trump's curiosity deepens. "What kind of woman is your daughter?" "She's strong," her mother replies. "She's compassionate. Even in that horrible place, She tries to help others. She wants to teach when she gets out. Later, Trump decides to visit the prison. The media buzzes with speculation as he walks through the facility. Guards and inmates alike stare in shock as the President of the United States steps into the stark, fluorescent-lit hallways. Alicia is brought into a small meeting room. When she sees Trump, her eyes widen in disbelief. "Tell me your story," he says, his tone firm but not unkind. Alicia hesitates, then begins. "I made mistakes, but I'm not asking for pity. I just want a chance to survive, to serve my time without fearing for my life." Trump watches her closely, leaning forward. "And if I grant you that chance?" Alicia meets his gaze. "I'll prove that people can change. I'll show the world that no matter where you've been, it's where you're going that matters." Trump leaves the prison, visibly pensive. The next morning, during a press conference, he announces, "I've heard the stories. I've seen the faces. It's time for a change. Effective immediately, we're revising our policies to ensure safety and fairness for all inmates." The crowd erupts in applause, and the news spreads like wildfire. Alicia is transferred to a women's facility. She enrolls in education programs, tutoring other inmates, and rediscovering her purpose. Years later, Alicia is released. She steps outside to find her mother waiting, tears streaming down her face. They embrace tightly, the weight of the past finally lifting. In a voiceover, Alicia says, "Second chances aren't just about redemption. They're about hope, and hope changes everything." Justice means fairness. Justice means safety. Justice means hope. For more inspiring stories, subscribe to our channel.